Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 70 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, where we were going to Twin Elms. But first things first, we're going to go get us some camps, because geez, we need some camps. We've currently got none, and we still have a little bit of way to go. So first things first, we can't go back there, so let's I think Caed Nua would have what I'm looking for. So let's go. We'll take a long way around. You know, just because, why not? With the amount of shops we have, we should have somewhere that has camps. If not, we'll go to Deerfoot. Loading screens are going to be a bit annoying, but we'll get there. Okay, so that's Ardhelm's done his job. Apparently, someone wants my help with their business. Pretty sure this is a chapel that we're currently doing. Oh no! Apparently, we can go in there now. Interesting. I think we're going to explore Caed Nua quickly then. Chapel priest.
Greetings.
My lord, I thank you for restoring our chapel to its former glory. I am certain the gods look favourably upon you. I have gathered what scrolls I could find. Perhaps they would be any use for your travels. Let me see what you have. Not of current, mate, but, you know, thanks for offering. So that's what he does. Well, we've got some other shops to go into, so let's just go see them.
The keep's coming along nicely.
That it is. Person whose name I don't remember, Kana. We also need to speak to Durance. You know, we'll quickly speak to Durance. Let's do it. Your face is full of need, Durance snorts. It looks to burst if you didn't speak. I had questions I want to ask you.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
I had another vision of you. One of the symbols on your staff. It was dying.
You see many things that aren't there, Watcher. Perhaps the symbol was for your disappearing sanity, and we are to bid it farewell while you still have the wits to grieve for it.
I saw a symbol with 12 circles. What does it represent?
That symbol? The God Hammer.
Then it was the Godhammer symbol I saw extinguished on your staff.
No riddle there, Watcher. It took 12 of us to build the God Hammer. Afterward, I took my leave of all of them to see what Margaret had in store for me. I've seen none of them since.
Are you sure there isn't more to the story?
Your kind has a way of interpreting its visions to fit the version of the truth you like best. But Margaret's flame leaves no room for interpretation. Waste the time of others with your distortions and your fever dreams.
Flame distort all that lies around them, and you never seem to be far from a flame.
It's always the way of the mad to try to convince others of a reality only they can see. But when your doctrine's the truth, it requires no convincing, only an opening of the eyes. I would purify you, Watcher, if I thought it would help.
He's playing ignorant. Very rude of him, but hey, it's Durance. It's what he does. He's a cunt. He can't help being a cunt.
Welcome.
Okay, so we've already seen what you had, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't what I wanted, so out we go. I've just realised we've got some, like, exploration to do in Caed Nua. I need to do that at some point.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Let's go inside Bright Hollow, see what's changed. See what, if anything, has changed in there. Doesn't seem to be anyone here, so let's just leave. This picture makes me think of something. We look at something. Yeah, that's a hand. Under the temple is above a hand of sorts, and I believe I've seen that hand before. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a quick side quest, and that involves the obviously the keep the Lord below Caed Nua. Of course, we've also got the Solmar the Shackler to deal with. At last! I'm glad you're here, my lord. My name is Solmar. I have a matter of some importance to discuss, if you have the time. Very well, let's hear it. I'll cut to the meat of it. I have a dozen oiling slaves in port at Gira. Good, healthy stock that will fetch a fine price in Ixametal, if I can get a ship up the coast. That's the tricky part. I haven't got the coin to stock a ship for the dual journey. No, about docking at Deerwood port along the way and running the risk of having my goods seized. Really, these Deerwoodian laws are completely impractical for any honest merchant outside of Defiance Bay. I hoped you could be of some assistance. You're not originally from the Deerwood, I hear, so you'll surely understand. I'd like a moment to discuss this with my people. Of course, of course. Someone inclines his head politely and steps out of the earshot. Heravis, I want you to head down to Gira and see if you can free the slaves. I would love to. It gives me something to do with my hands while I plot this man's painful death. I should guess return. I need some time to look into the matter. Return to Gira and I will send word. Of course, I appreciate you taking the time. I'll await your letter. Please, Solmar bows slightly and turns to stride from the hall. Now, I'm also a teammate down, so we're going to have to borrow... Let's have Sagani back. Yeah. She's leveled up, so let's do some leveling up as well. Athletics. Brutal takedown. Yeah, brutal takedown. I like that. Yeah, city level. In this, just put the dog there. And in number 1, again, just put the dog there. Yeah. Actually, in number 1, we'll swap them with Durham, so it's makes a little bit more sense. Right. Actually, let's go talk to the.
I have heard terrible things. I worried you would not return. Is it true that there are riots in Defiance Bay, and that Avar Wolfgren has been slain?
Yes, and I'll make Theos pay for what he's done. I am sure you will, my lord, and much does he deserve it. May the gods harry his every step. I am glad, above all, that you are unharmed. I can only hope that Defiant Bay recovers. What is the state of the keep? Word of Caed Nua is spreading far and wide. I expect we'll receive visitors from every corner of the world soon. I can't tell you how wonderful it is seeing this place restored to its original grandeur. Thank you, my lord. This keep will only reflects what you have done for us. A moment, if you will. I've kept you for too long, haven't I? A monument, sorry, not a moment. I'll give you my report. There we go. Thank you. Alright, so we're gonna go deal with this undercastle because I'm interested. I've completely forgot about this, in the sense of I forgot that there's an actual doing it would give me some experience if I ever needed it. So, and I think for a change, it's definitely best that we do something.
Gods keep you.
Greetings, my lord. I'm here to maintain the cells for you, should you take any prisoners in your travel. I'll make sure they're attended to as you see fit. Nobody near right now, but I'm sure you'll chase us soon enough. I do intend to.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
There it is, that lovely Adra statue. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue on what we're doing, which was exploring the Undercastle. And there it is. Let's speed up over there. Oh, didn't mean to press that. Speed up over there. Feels weird having our ranger back, but hey, perhaps she'll be useful for a change. No, I'm joking. She was always useful. So, where does this go? Let's have a look. Looks like it goes back up to Caed Nua itself. Caed Nua proper. I'm just wondering if it... Yeah.
Better indeed.
It is exactly where I thought it... Level 1. So now we just have to go downwards. Right, let's turn off fast mode. Now I just need to figure out where the fuck the downwards bit is. Apparently we didn't go over here. So let's we'll go into we'll go into different mode for now.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet. Here we are. To think we are so close. Beneath our very feet lie the endless paths built by Caed Nua, the great Angwithan king. Well, up here this is all Adiran, of course, but should we descend far enough, we will find some real history. To uncover that great king's tomb would be a dream. But it is one of his servants I am after. Gabranos, a powerful mage and a dedicated scholar, a keeper of lore, just as I mean to be. He was in possession of the Tanvi Oratoa, or whatever form of it preceded the one we know. I've seen it in ruins, alongside Gabranos' name, scraps of the same symbols and verses we know in Rauatai. He must have held the words in high regard. Or perhaps he was even the author.
You sound very impressed by this Gabranos. They say he held the power over the elements, kinda coughs, but I'm more interested in his writing. He was a prolific author. I haven't been able to translate anything, but I've seen enough to know that he travelled far and wide. If only we could have met him, what wisdom he could share. We can follow his example and strive to learn from those around us, improve upon it. You haven't actually read his writings? How could I? It's a dead language and hardly anyone has translated even a small fraction of it. He actually correctly. You speak Angwithan. Perhaps when we do find his work, you could translate it for me. Why does this book matter so much to you? Rauatai faces troubled times. Once we were a unified people, but that's changing, and the Tanvi Oratoa is the heart of that. There are those who would say we haven't held to its instructions, that we've allowed ourselves to grow weak and polluted our traditions by welcoming foreigners rather than laying claim to the lands around us. That we must hold to those traditions if we are to make ourselves a nation to be feared. My brothers would have it so, but we don't need to isolate ourselves to make Rauatai great. I know there's more than to the chant. It wasn't created out of sand and water 1,000 years ago, but brought to Rauatai by the Angwithans, by a people that knew the value of alliances and shared their knowledge with us. And with that knowledge, we made Rauatai what it is today. If I can find the original, I can prove it. They'll know that the chant is far older than we believed, that the Angwithans favoured peace and the trade of knowledge. If we follow in their footsteps, we can make a kingdom just as grand and lasting as theirs. Averting conflict is a noble ambition. And a lofty one, I know. Kana grins. I'm glad you feel the same. I feel that it's the better course of Rauatai. We're a people of many races, and we've always stood together. I feel that we're destined for greatness. Are you always this excitable? We're on the verge of a great discovery. I wonder at your restraint. Let's start looking.
If my
then.
sources are correct, Gabranos will have brought the text with him. It will probably be within a library, or a tomb perhaps. It tends to be one of the two. Let's be off.
Now, I've just realised the problem is, if I'm going to go down there, I need some fucking camp supplies. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for that coughing. It's that time of fucking year. Right, so
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
we need to get ourselves some fucking camp supplies. From where, though? I have currently no clue. We'll go check out the Warden's Lodge, because I haven't checked out there yet. Right. So there's the... I know that's the Warden outpost, isn't it? Yeah, because it's not one on that side, so... Let's get ourselves all the way over here. I think this is actually the only building we haven't been in. Which, I mean, is fine, I guess.
Hail and well met.
The grizzled old man takes a puff from his pipe and nods at you. Was wondering when you'd be dropping by. Kiff round here have been hit with more than their share of trouble of late. I'm up to my ear in bounty offers. I figured at least one of these might interest you with someone with your skills. One of the most recent bounties. Now, I ought to warn you, there's a reason these bounties are still on offer. Those are tough bastards, every one of them. If you're not up to it now, feel free to come back around when you're better prepared. In the meantime, here's a good batch to start us off. There's the stunning bounty on Sly Credell's head, or Sidrell's head, of course. Then there's the forest lurker haunting the trade routes, and its ogre shaman. Someone should fetch a good price. And up last one is War Chief Iklak. Actually, Iklak? I want to know about Sly Credell. This bounty comes all the way from New Hiomar. Sly Credell and some of his accomplices have escaped the prison there and killed 2 Justicars on the way out. The guards are itching after revenge. A man matching his description was seen near Margren's Fork. He's well armed, and he'll have his friends with him too. Tell me about the forest lurker. Let's see. Word is, this big forest lurker is taking up residence in Black Meadow, just off the main road. The merchants have been calling it the Dweller, and they want it gone before it starts chewing up all their caravans. I'll take on an ogre. That one keeps making the rounds. Nalrend the Wise. He's some kind of ogre shaman. They say he's raided half a dozen farms all over Deerwood. Word is he's holed up somewhere in Elmshire, though nobody who went looking has been seen since. Tell me about the War Chief. War Chief Iklak. He's a Zurip, if the name didn't tip you off. He moves around a lot, but he's known to haunt the Valewood from time to time. Folks want him dealt with just before he takes up before he takes up with a dragon. I don't know why I get tongue-tied sometimes, but I do. So we got ourselves some bounties to complete. So it looks like Caed Nua was, in a way, the correct choice. Though, I don't know where the fuck these did I get the merchant stalls? Let's have a look. So I'm missing the forum, the botanical gardens, the artificer, the curios, but I got the merchant stalls. So it's in the Great Hall. So we'll get ourselves over there and see what's happening. Also, how long has this Grieving Mother been out? She's been gone for a while. Heravis is going to be back in 4 days. So that's fair. So if this merchant doesn't have camp supplies, we're going to have to fuck off somewhere, get camp supplies, just so we can go do the mission, that the under castle thing. There he is, General Goods Merchant.
Good day to you.
Greetings, my lord. Fancy a new blade? Maybe an axe? I've plenty here to take the fancy of any man of action. Or perhaps some ingredients and spices for the road. I've oils and tinctures for the alien man too. I want to have a look. Show me your wares. Fucking legend. Anything I actually need. Right. In the next part, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get ourselves down into the depths of Caed Nua, and we'll see if we can fulfill Karna's wish. I'll see you guys then.